Since DC Studios is continuing with the Elseworlds concept, there's always the possibility that a Black Adam vs. Superman movie could eventually happen with Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill. It might not be on the immediate horizon, but once the DC Universe has moved beyond its Chapter 1 slate of Gods and Monsters, the studio could easily revisit the DCEU continuity as an Elseworlds movie. This would let them explore that storyline as a one-off without getting sucked back into the full DCEU timeline. By then, DC will likely have had the chance to experiment with other Elseworld stories, figuring out the best way to approach a Black Adam vs. Superman film. So here we are with everything we know about Adam 2. That said, what I think might actually happen is something different. Black Adam 2 could be reworked or even scrapped altogether. There's been some buzz around Johnson's recent behavior that's making people question whether Black Adam 2 could even happen as originally planned. For years, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was known as Hollywood's nice guy, hardworking, humble, and always upbeat. But recently, his golden reputation has taken a hit, especially after some reports about his behavior on the set of Amazon's Red One. According to The Wrap, there were some serious delays during production of Red One, and Johnson was reportedly late an average of 7 to 8 hours per day, missing entire days of filming. This, of course, caused massive delays and cost the studio millions of dollars. Sources on the set described it as a effing disaster and said Johnson didn't seem to care much about the production setbacks. Of course, Amazon MGM defended Johnson, claiming that reports about his tardiness were exaggerated and that his work was essential to the film. Still, the pattern of his late arrivals on set, including on other projects like Ballers and his feud with Vin Diesel on the Fast and Furious movies, is becoming hard to ignore. There was also that rumored blow-up with Ryan Reynolds on the set of Red Notice, which strained their friendship for a while. These reports paint a picture of someone who's not always the easiest person to work with, and that can have consequences. A single hour of delay can throw off an entire production schedule, and when it's happening consistently, it affects the morale of everyone on set. If these issues with Johnson's professionalism are true, it could affect his future projects, including Black Adam 2. Fans are more invested in the integrity of the production than ever, and if Johnson's behavior is impacting the movie in a negative way, it could hurt the film's reputation. Plus, if he's also involved in producing the movie, that could complicate things even further. After all, if the production of Black Adam and the potential Superman showdown is chaotic, it could turn into a PR nightmare, especially if it's tied to a character like Black Adam, who's already been met with mixed reactions. So while the idea of a Black Adam vs. Superman movie sounds great, the behind-the-scenes drama and potential reworking of Johnson's role in the DCU might mean that fans are looking at a very different path for the character moving forward. If Black Adam 2 does happen, it could be under a much different set of circumstances, or maybe it'll be just another Elseworlds adventure. Either way, things might get a bit messy. Adding to the swirling rumors and shifts within the DCU, recent reports have confirmed that no members of the DCEU Justice League will be reprising their roles in the new DC universe. This decision further emphasizes the studio's desire to fully separate from the previous era, pushing the old guard out in favor of new actors and storylines. With this change, it seems that even Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam may be on the chopping block, especially since it's nearly impossible for audiences to dissociate this version of the character from his DCEU debut. The absence of Black Adam 2 from DC Studios' Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate only adds fuel to the fire. In response to this, Johnson tweeted his thoughts, stating, "However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters." This firmly signals that Black Adam 2 is off the table for now, though it doesn't completely rule out Johnson's return as Black Adam in other projects within the DC multiverse. The door might still be open for crossovers or appearances in other films or shows. What's interesting is that Dwayne Johnson seems to be shifting his focus back to his roots in WWE. His return to wrestling in 2024, leading up to WrestleMania 40, has been a massive success, with the event breaking WWE's all-time gate record. The anticipation surrounding his match with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins captured the attention of fans and critics, and WrestleMania 40 was hailed as one of the best shows ever. It's no surprise that the financial success of this return, along with the overwhelmingly positive response, could motivate Johnson to invest more time in his wrestling career, at least in the near future. Balancing a return to the ring with his other movie projects, including potential superhero roles, might be a stretch even for someone as accomplished as Johnson. With his focus on WWE, it seems unlikely that he'll be reprising Black Adam anytime soon, especially considering the DCU's ongoing reboot. However, there's still some hope. James Gunn's positive response to Johnson's tweet saying, "Love The Rock, and I'm always excited to see what he and Seven Bucks do next, can't wait to collaborate soon," indicates that the possibility of working with Johnson isn't entirely off the table. It could mean that rather than starring in Black Adam 2, Johnson might reprise his role as Black Adam in other projects, perhaps in Amanda Waller's upcoming series or even Peacemaker Season 2. With the open-ended nature of Black Adam's post-credit scene, there's room for the character to make an appearance without a full-blown sequel. In the meantime, DC Studios has a treasure trove of other characters from Black Adam to explore. The Justice Society heroes, like Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone, could easily carry their own stories in the DCU, especially now that the focus is shifting toward fresh faces and new narratives. Whether or not Black Adam makes a return, there's plenty of room for DC to explore the wider universe, and fans might get to see these beloved characters in a new light. James Gunn's recent comments about the DCU's canon have clarified much of the confusion surrounding the rebooted franchise, and it's made me feel more hopeful about its future. With the DCU's fresh start, many fans wondered what parts of the DCEU would carry over and how the new narrative would handle continuity. Gunn's explanation has helped address those concerns. At New York Comic-Con, Gunn explained that the DCU would acknowledge past events when necessary. As he said, "We learn that other things that have happened in the past in other media have still happened. There are references to things that happened in the past, and those references then become canon in the DCU because we mention them. This means the DCU won't completely erase the DCEU, but will selectively carry over elements when they make sense for the story, providing continuity while establishing the new universe's identity." This is great news for characters like Amanda Waller, who is being reprised by Viola Davis in Creature Commandos. Other characters from the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are also returning, showing that some DCEU characters will remain in the DCU. With Gunn's vision, it's clear that Black Adam's journey is far from over. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.